Good morning, I am Kevin Price. Glad to be with you. I had a great vacation, been gone several days, but I got to that perfect point of where I was looking forward to getting back on the show, and here I am back. But I had an awesome time up in Minnesota where the weather was much kinder, got a break from the heat, and just really enjoyed family and friends. But glad to be back in the saddle, and we'll probably have to use that as bumper music at some point on today's show. I abuse my producer with bumper music requests, which he only gives me very few of them anyway. But anyway, we're going to have a good segment today and a phenomenal show. I'm looking forward to it. Debbie Ortiz, she's here in the studio. She's with an organization that's near and dear to me, Cornerstone Recovery. It's a great organization making a difference in the lives of so many people. Debbie, good to see you. How are you today?
I am great. Good to see you, Kevin.
Let's start off with the elevator speech about Cornerstone Recovery, which you can learn more about them as well at cornerstonerecovery.org. But kind of give us a little bit of information about what it's about before you introduce us to your guest today.
Okay. Well, to pick up on your families and friends theme that you talked about on your vacation, it's really a family recovery community for teens who are suffering from addictions or any self-destructive behaviors. And what it does is it creates a positive, caring environment, not only for them, but also the parents, so they can find their inner strength and really discover how to get their families back, and to help the kids who become healed, and the whole family becomes hopeful of what the future will hold. And our guest today, actually, I think has experienced that. So I'm real excited to have Jim Raney on with us this morning.
Jim, welcome to the program. First of all, tell us a little bit about what you do and what you're all about.
I'm Jim Raney, and I'm the Director of Engineering and Technology for Anadarko Petroleum. So what I do is I have a small group of individuals, and when the engineers can't solve problems, they bring it to my group, and I've got a group of really top-notch PhDs and technical professionals that solve problems in the oil and gas industry. Very
good. Debbie, your question?
Well, we have a lot of problems in the oil and gas industry right now, Jim, as you're well aware of, since we're working. I want to say that Jim is chairing our Sporting Clays event, and we have had some challenging times. Why don't we talk about those?
All right. I'm also chairing the Sporting Clays events for Cornerstone Recovery. And the Cornerstone Recovery actually has our third annual Sporting Clubs events in September 21st, coming up on Monday at the Greater Houston Gun Club. That's out there at McHarden Road. And we're looking for anybody that's interested in coming out and supporting this worthwhile charity to come out there and do that.
Yeah, it sounds like an awesome event. How many years have you been doing this, Debbie?
This is our third year, and it's a challenging year. As Jim knows, we just had our committee meeting yesterday. So we really do need all of you to support the effort if you are at all interested in coming out and shooting our clays, or just to make a donation, because we do have a goal, and we're about halfway there, we determined yesterday. So we got a bit of a stretch to go.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about cost of participation. Talk a little bit about that, Jim.
Yeah, okay. The cost of participation, it's $250 a shooter, and for that, it brings you in a little over before lunch. We'll have lunch there. We will go out and we'll have a display. There's several events that will be going on. There'll be a flurry, and then we'll also have some drawings. And then what we'll do is we'll go around and we'll shoot a round of clays. Hopefully, we'll get about 120 shooters out there. And we'll shoot a round of clays, and we'll come back in the clubhouse, and we'll give out trophies for those that shot well, and prizes for others,
and hazing for those who really just did poorly.
So you can put me in that category. But it's really a fun day, and it's for a very worthwhile cause. So I'm looking forward to anyone who wants to come out there. And there's also sponsorships available for those that are interested in being a sponsor.
You know, people can go out and they can shoot for obviously less than $250, Debbie. So talk a little bit about what happens with the money and what kind of difference it makes.
Well, without the money, this is a depressed, environment that we're working in. So it's really important that we hit all of our fundraising goals, because it does save teens' lives and transforms families. And Jim, you spoke last year about how it had personally affected you, Cornerstone, and I'd really like to hear you talk about that for a moment.
Well, my son was 14 years old, and he came up to my wife and I and said that he was addicted to drugs. And he said he didn't want to do that anymore. And, of course, being a good parent, well, let's take him out of the environment. And basically, it was the wrong answer. The right answer was to immerse him with his peers and to help his peers help him. And Cornerstone is a peer alternative peer group type of thing in which you get your own peers that pressure you into staying straight. So my son spent 4 years in the program, being good parents. We went to the family. It's a family-oriented, so the parents go and the kids go. And he graduated from the program, and right now he is counseling young adults that are addicted to drugs and alcohol on a better way of life.
Very, very cool. You got to love that. Those are great stories. And that's what Cornerstone is about, is producing stories like that. Debbie?
Yes. Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to come on and tell you again about the program and its importance. You know, we've talked before that it really is an epidemic and it touches everyone. So we need your help, please. Yeah,
absolutely. What do you want people to do? Obviously, they can check out cornerstonerecovery.org. What else?
Yes, they can also call me personally, 281-687-0205, because we're getting close to the event, and we need to get their names on our list.
When is that event again?
It's Monday the 21st.
So it's 2 Mondays from now.
That's correct.
And that number one more time.
281-687-0205.
Great organization. I tell you right now, you certainly can shoot a gun cheaper than that, but the reward won't be any greater than if you did it with Cornerstone and helping youth. And let me tell you, with a lot of the changes that have happened, particularly in drug laws, we're going to see more pervasive drug abuse. It's not going to make it less. It's going to make it easier. And what makes it more, it's not like alcohol abuse didn't decline after the end of Prohibition. It got worse in so many ways. And so these kids need help. You had another thought you wanted to throw in?
I just want to mention that the Greater Houston Gun Club is an exclusive private member club, and so you don't often get an opportunity to go to a place like that, and that's one of the reasons why we're asking more money.
And it is a phenomenal venue.
Yes,
it really is.
Really
and so people do need to check it out. And let me tell you, you won't be going to, you may be able to do it cheaper, but not at, not get the kind of environment you're going to get at that club. It's a phenomenal club. Thanks to both of you. Thanks for coming out and sharing with us today, Jim.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Debbie, as always, good to see you.
Nice to see you.
All right. When we come back, much more for you. Do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter, and this is The Price of Business.
Where the longhorn cattle feed on the lowly Jimson weed, I'm back in the saddle again.